Hi, this is 5 tips for using positive affirmations for people who are going through career transitions. I have used affirmations a lot to great success. This is my friend Ava, and today I'm going to talk about those 5 tips, give you an example. But first of all, let me tell you about myself. I'm Connie Livingston. I am a coach and consultant. I have a background in financial services, and I have helped a lot of people with many kinds of transitions, including career, as well as the whole money thing. And I also have a book called Go Forward Fearlessly, a spiritual roadmap for how to be happy, stress-free, and confident despite massive change. And that book actually is under my pen name, which is Cornelia Ward. So let's dive into the 5 tips for using positive affirmations. So what are affirmations? Affirmations are just really a simple positive statement that kind of says your intention for whatever your goal is over and over again. And so I can give you an example. When I had just started my job in financial services in 2005, I had a goal to double my income within like a year. When you start in financial services, you may know your salary is pretty low. And so I wanted to earn, I think it was $80,000 by June 1st, 2006. So I created an affirmation that said, I earn $80,000 by June 1st, 2006. So it was really short, really quick. It had the date in there. That's an option. And what I noticed is because every day I would walk the dog and, the rhythm of walking, and I would just say this affirmation in my head over and over again. Some people like to say them in the mirror. That works too, any way that you feel inspired to do it. And you may feel a little silly in the beginning, which is fine. You may think it's bunk. But if you feel inspired to try them, I would recommend it because I have found them really successful, and so have my students and my clients. So what happened in this story? So this was the fall of 2005, and then by June 1st, 2006, that's when this money was supposed to show up. And I just had been busy saying my affirmation over and over again. I was busy at work, learning as much as I could about the financial services field and helping as many people as I could become financially more stable. And I noticed all of a sudden in June that I suddenly have this influx of clients and that I was earning a whole lot more money than I had before. And sure enough, starting that year, just 9 months later, I started earning double the salary that I had been making. And it certainly was a lot easier to live on $80,000 a year than it was on $40,000 a year. So that's just an example of how they've worked well for me, and you might want to try it. They're pretty fun. And so that's how they can work. And the first tip I would have for you today has to do with just deciding what your compelling career goal is. In this example, I'm focusing on career, but certainly you can use affirmations in any area of your life. So that would be the first tip, is to identify the goal. The second one is just to come up with a really quick, positive statement, either in the present tense. Usually present tense is better. And that would be the second step. The third step is to start repeating it over and over again to yourself. You'll notice that you'll feel better and excited and just thinking about the future and how it's going to be when this situation comes to be. And they really do work. It may sound like magic, and perhaps it is, but I can tell you from a very practical perspective, I'm a very practical person. They definitely work. So the repeating over and over. Some people sing it in the shower, some people say them in the mirror. Just do whatever you feel inspired to do. And then the fourth tip is that once you start doing that and you kind of put it out there that you've got this goal, you're going to start getting a lot of inspired ideas. These ideas will come into your head, you'll get these gut feelings, or maybe you'll see pictures in your mind. And whatever they are, you may be in the middle of washing the dishes and your hands are all wet, and you just want to get the dishes done, which, by the way, it's very common. You may have noticed when you're working on something, you have a specific goal and you're working hard on it, that it's when you are doing things that don't engage your mind in that way, like these kind of simple tasks that we do on a daily basis, like washing the dishes, that these ideas will come to you pretty frequently because your brain's not busy thinking about other things. And so what I recommend is, even if you're washing the dishes, is to dry your hands off and you should always have paper and pen with you anyway, or your smartphone or whatever it is that you want to record these ideas on. But just make sure you don't lose them. Don't just say, well, in 10 minutes when I'm done with the dishes, I will go ahead and write this down. What you really want to do is write it down right away. And so you're going to do that, and you may get tons of ideas over the course of an hour. Let's say there are some days that go by where I don't get any, and then one day when I'm not thinking about things so much, the ideas will just come and come and come, and I'll just get a whole lot of them all at once, which is a little overwhelming. So what I do is I typically stick them, these little notes that I make to myself, and these ideas that come to me as soon as I write them down, and get the idea, write it down right away, and then I stick them in a folder, and then I set aside some time. So maybe you could sit down on a Saturday morning and just take a few minutes to go through them and reduce the overwhelm by just deciding which one inspires you the most. Just take one small step with that one particular idea you have. So the fourth tip, the one on writing the ideas down, that's like hugely, hugely important. And then the fifth tip about taking action, of course, is also really, really important, because things just don't happen without you taking action. And then the inspired ideas, actually taking note of those, is actually kind of taking action as well. So that's the formula I recommend. It's identifying the goal that you have, coming up with an affirmation, repeating it over and over again, making sure you write down those inspired ideas, and then taking action. So I hope that was helpful. My name is Connie, and you can go check out my book at goforwardfearlesslybook.com/pre-order. You can go there and order a book. I think they're like $14, $15, including shipping. So I'll send them right to your door. I'll sign it before it goes. And while you're there, feel free to share your name and your email address, and I'll be happy to offer you a complimentary discovery session for whatever transition you may be going through. Take care.